Welcome to Monday Musings with a Blended Mama, gentle encouragement for busy women finding calm in the chaos. I'm Teresa, and this is a quiet place to pause at the start of your week. No pressure, no productivity, lecture, just a few minutes of perspective and one small step you can carry into the days ahead. I'm really glad you're here today. Now, today's episode might get a little bit deeper than I ever intended, but I'm going to just share with you some things that I've been learning in real time this season, and maybe you need to hear it too. And that's the idea that you don't have to carry it all. There's a weight that we don't talk about. There are seasons where life feels manageable, and then there are seasons where everything just quietly stacks up. Responsibilities, expectations, emotional weight, unspoken tension, mental tabs you keep open all day long. You're managing the house, the schedule, the people, the feelings, the planning, the future. And somewhere along the way, you start believing if I don't carry it, it will fall apart. And I've had that thought more than once that I had to carry it. But I've realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't just being responsible. I was trying to carry everything for everyone. And that is not sustainable. And there's a verse in the Bible that talks about carrying one another's burdens. And I believe that we were made for community. We were built for community. And that's not carrying everyone's burdens alone. It doesn't mean that I have to carry everyone else's burdens. But as a community, we are coming alongside people and helping them, not white knuckling your way through the hard seasons, not proving how capable you are by absorbing all the weight, because we were designed for that shared load. And when we don't share it, it gets heavier than it needs to be. And that's part of why community matters so much to me. And in today's, electronic world, a lot of that is online. I have our chaos coordinator community, and it's been super important to me. I have other online communities that have been profoundly helpful to me. But our community, it's not about perfect planning. It really is about not doing life alone. It's women showing up and saying, this week was hard, or I'm overwhelmed, or I need a reset. And instead of judgment, there's support. Instead of silence, there's conversation. Sometimes just hearing someone else say, me too, helps to redistribute that weight. You don't need 100 people, but you just need a place where you don't have to carry it all quietly. And so what made it heavier for me wasn't just the responsibilities, it was the silence, not naming what was hard, not asking for help, not admitting that something felt overwhelming or too much for me. Silence makes that weight feel permanent. But once you say it out loud and you let someone else in, once you admit this is a lot, it shifts. It doesn't disappear, and things can still be hard, but it helps redistribute that. And that redistribution changes everything. So my husband and I have recently had to bring in some professional help. Not because there was like a risk of anything like major. It was just, sometimes in marriage, marriage can be hard. And you just feel like you're out of sync, right? And we just needed help to get on the same page to get the things moving. So, everything wasn't falling apart, but we didn't want to keep carrying this tension alone, right? And so what we're realizing that a lot of what we felt were, parenting issues, it's not even about the kids. It's like they're great kids. It's about us and our perception of things, about expectations that he and I were not aligned on, and assumptions that we hadn't clarified, and stress we were both carrying differently. And when the adults are not aligned, the weight is definitely going to be heavier than it needs to be for those kids. And that realization has been humbling, but it's also freeing because it means that the solution isn't about controlling more, it's about communicating better. Support is not weakness, it's wisdom. And this has shown up in my planning too. So sometimes the heaviest thing I carry isn't emotional, it's mental, open loops. And if you've never heard that phrase before, an open loop is simply something that is unfinished or unresolved that your brain keeps reminding you about. the email you need to send, the decision you haven't made, the thing you said you'd get to later, the appointment you still need to schedule, probably conversations you wish that you need to have, or replaying conversations of how you could have done them better. But when you hold all of that in your head, it feels manageable at first, but your brain doesn't forget. It just keeps running the reminder in the background on loop. And background reminders are heavy. So one small way I am trying to stop carrying it all is by writing it down. I stop trying to be the storage unit and I let my planner hold it. Not so I can do everything immediately, but so I'm not holding every open loop in my head at the same time. And that alone is light things. It's also helped me process things. But sometimes carrying it all just means refusing to put it somewhere else. Sometimes you just need to put it on paper. It's also changed how I schedule. I leave more margin. I don't stack every hour. I plan once instead of constantly reworking the week. And as the week progresses, I'm just checking back on that list. But because that constant reworking is just another way of gripping too tightly. Margin is shared weight. It gives space for support to enter. I used to think strength meant handling everything quietly by myself. But now I'm learning that strength sometimes looks like saying, this is too much for one person to carry, and letting someone help, letting your planner help, your spouse help, a counselor help, letting God carry what was never meant to sit on your shoulders alone. You don't have to carry it all. Support is not weakness, it's wisdom. So here's your reflection for this week. Where are you carrying something alone that doesn't have to be? Is there a conversation you need to have, a task you need to delegate, a decision you need to write down instead of rehearsing in your mind? You don't have to carry it all. Support is not weakness, it's wisdom. If you're looking for a place where you don't have to carry it all alone, the Chaos Coordinator community is linked in the show notes. You'll also find links to book club and other planning resources there as well. And if you'd like a little extra encouragement directly from me to you in your inbox, you can join my email list there as well. Until next time, friend, lay down what was never yours to hold alone. Build support and take one steady step forward. I'll be here next Monday, and I look forward to hearing from you.